Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome to this week's episode of Bets and Buds. I am Jason Smoking Token, and this is my partner in crime, Bobby Light.
How we doing?
How we doing, Bobby?
I'm good, Jason. How we doing this
We're
week?
getting close to the halfway stretch of the season. I don't feel like smoking token too much. I'm doing a lot of token, not a lot of smoking right now. Not a lot of smoking right now, baby.
I had a decent week last week. 11 and 5 on the spread, or on the over/under and the money line. 6-9-1 on the spread. Not so good on the spread, but
yeah, I went rough on the spread. I was 5-10-1 on the spread. I got a push there. I was 11-5 on the money line, so I was okay on the money line. There was a couple of teams didn't cover that I thought might cover, a couple backdoor covers. You know how that happens here at gambling. That's gambling, baby. 8-8 on the over/under. You had some hot fantasy picks though this past week, though, man.
I did. I hit on 9 of the 16 that I did make. I missed on a couple, but the 9 I did hit on, 8 of them scored touchdowns. So you better believe that.
It was a good week. That was definitely a good week. Definitely a good week. All right, so going off in this week here, we got a kind of a tight one here. We got a few buys, I think, this week, right? So we don't have a full slate?
Yep, we're 14 games this
week. 14 games this week? Okay. So first up, we got the Titans and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Titans got a big win. Will Levis, the rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Will Levis, rookie quarterback. He came through with 3 touchdowns to D-Hop, 4 touchdown passes total. All deep balls. He looked good on the deep balls. So now we're going to see what his intermediate passing game is going to be like. Going up into Pittsburgh, it's going to be windy. Going to be a little different weather terrain, and you got a veteran defense there. They treat young quarterbacks pretty rough there.
They do.
Pretty rough.
Will Levis looks good, and he's probably the heir apparent in Tennessee.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
It's definitely not Malik Willis. Definitely not
No,
Malik Willis.
no.
Definitely not Malik Willis.
But, Pittsburgh definitely covers in this one at home. It's -3 right now. Give me Pittsburgh -3 and the win, and I like the under in this one at 36.5.
You like the under?
I like the under.
You know what? We got everything all the same, except for me, I like the over.
You like the over?
Yeah, that 36.5, and sometimes for me, it's more kind of detailed into rooting for good football over bad football on a Thursday night. And actually, this week has been surprising. The under used to be a good slam dunk pick on Thursday night games, but the overs hit. I want to say that if Director Dave can look that up for us and pop that up on the screen later for us on the later shoot, but I'd love to see what the over-under would be for Thursday night games as far as how them hitting the overs and the unders. Definitely a lot higher clip what it seems like in the years past.
But like you said, with the weather and that wind whipping, I think that could actually keep the scoring low. So
it could.
Give me the under in that one.
Okay, yeah. Also, too, probably no Kenny Pickett. So
no,
we're going to deal with Mazda Mitch. They try to call him Maserati Mitch, but he's Mazda Mitch.
So that's actually my fantasy play of the week because you can get him for real cheap right now. 4,800. He can rush a touchdown or two.
Oh yeah, he definitely could. He definitely could.
So yeah, I mean he's a value pick for sure.
Especially if you're playing daily fantasy for that game and that game only that night for sure. Daily fantasy pick. I like that on Mitchell Trubisky. For sure. So we're in agreement on that one, except for the over/under. I got the over. You got yep. I like the over on that one. All right. So next up, we're going to it's a Germany game. First game in Germany now. We got the Dolphins. Yes, that's the first game in Germany, which they're big football fans over in Germany. Big football fans in Deutschland. So we got the Dolphins and the Chiefs here. Supposedly a home game for the Chiefs, but you know what? It's overseas. That's kind of going either way on that end right there. For me, through FanDuel, they're 2.5-point favorites for the Dolphins.
2.5?
2.5 is what I have for the Dolphins through FanDuel.
DraftKings is at 1.5.
1.5. Okay, nice. So FanDuel's down to 1.5 now too. Okay, nice. So Director Dave gave us a shout out there. FanDuel's down to 1.5 now. You know what? Either way, I'm taking the Dolphins in that one right there.
You like the Dolphins?
Yes, I do. I think it's a Tyreek Hill revenge game. Number one. Number two. The other thing that I don't like is that right now, outside of Travis Kelce, they don't have anything like of any note on the receiver game whatsoever.
No, they don't. And Jalen Ramsey's back.
And Jalen Ramsey is back. And Xavier Howard, I think, will be almost a full go snap too at the start there. So I like that. So for me, I like the Dolphins. Obviously, getting the covering the 1.5. Okay. I got 2.5 down here, but I got the 1.5. I like that to cover too as well with the money line. And I like the over at 50.5.
Okay, I agree with the over, but I think Kansas City, I don't know if Dolphins are just not quite there yet. They're still a little young. Kansas City's got the experience. Can they stop Kelce? I don't even know if it matters with Ramsey or Howard coming back.
I do because Jalen Ramsey's one of those that he has no problem sliding to the inside.
He
and if Kelce
slides,
he's one of those that will slide to the inside. And if Kelce has any chance of doing any damage and he's hurting him too bad, Ramsey will slide his ass on the inside.
Maybe a Kansas City receiver shows up this week. I doubt it. But yeah, give me Kansas City. It's 1.5. I like them to win over in Germany. Miami's still young. I just don't think they get it done this week. But I like the over for sure.
Yeah, see, for me, I like Miami got it taking that one. But so we're in disagreement. That's our first one on a full outright pretty much disagreement.
So,
outside of we both like the over on that.
Saying
one.
With that, We haven't said McKinnon's name in a while for Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Usually he's good for 4 or 5 touchdowns a year.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been a while since he scored one. Give me McKinnon this
And
week.
Pacheco's been underwhelming, so yeah, that's a good pick.
4,400 McKinnon.
Oh yeah,
gets it
that's a
done.
good quality pick for a back out of daily fantasy for
Oh, yeah.
sure. Absolutely. So next up we got the Rams and Packers. So who do you like on that one, Bobby?
Wow, this one was a toss-up to
That's
me.
in Green Bay. Back-to-back
both-
games in Green Bay.
Both of these teams are not playing very well right now.
Green Bay much worse than the Rams.
Yes, it
But we
is.
also have no Matt Stafford this week, do we?
You've got it up to 6? Wow, did it change that much?
We got a 6-point spread for DraftKings and 5.5 for FanDuel.
I've got
Oh
3
wow,
and-
yeah, because
I've got
I had
3
three.
and a
I had
half.
3. So that's within the last 3 hours that's changed that dramatically.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a pretty dramatic swing on that end there. So for me, I like the Rams to cover the So I had 3 points.
No, that's the wrong game. You guys aren't
Okay, yeah.
All right. And so Director Dave's going to
3.5.
reboot there on that one. But either way, so we're going to go off of what our spreads are that we
Yep,
had on the
3.5.
board here. So you had 3.5. I had 3 through FanDuel. So for me, I like the Rams to cover that.
Yep.
The Packers give me nothing
You
of
got
any
no-
hope
you like
whatsoever.
the Rams to
I
win
have
that
rode
one,
with
too?
them for 3 times. Yeah, so I got the Rams to go with that one. I got obviously money line. I like the under at 39.5.
Okay. I like the Rams to cover because I think Green Bay wins this game like 23-20.
You think so?
It's 3.5. You know, the Rams get the half-point cover. I know it's a long shot, but give me the over as well because it's only 38.5 points.
You know, the only thing that made me kind of swing and lean towards the Rams way, not only because I've been burned by the Packers 3 times
Right.
this year. 3 times. You give me 3 times after that, I'm like, fuck off. You know, at this point. But not only that, also kind of the same reason why I went with the Titans last week over the Falcons, the unknown quarterback. Sometimes this season, like that's one thing in the NFL, the unknown quarterback seems to
can
kind
help.
of burn teams because that was the same thing when the Bears got that win over the Raiders earlier this season. When you have the unknown quarterback that is playing in the game.
Yeah, but we know who Brian Rippon is, or what Rippon. We know who Rippon is. We've
Yeah,
seen his
yeah, was
game
it Brett
before.
Rippon?
Brett Rippon, that's it. We know who Brett Rippon
But
is.
they might bring in that grown man Stetson Bennett if they had to.
And he's not his own. Well, yeah, they do have Benson or
Stetson Bennett. Yeah, Stetson
and
Bennett.
right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's a grown man. Who knows how much he's partying out there in L.A. at the time being. But, we'll see. But, I'm leaning toward the Rams just because the Packers have given me no encouragement, right?
You're right. You're right.
They've looked so poor. But this is also the time where the NFL is finding itself. And that's why you're going to start to find it's going to be a lot harder to gamble during this time of the season because right now you're between injuries, people preserving people, bye weeks, all that type of stuff that's going to come into play. Also, on top of that, the gambling books have the algorithms now. They've got like 8 weeks worth of information to gather off of to make things a little bit more dicey because they've kicked the public's ass the last 3 weeks. The publics have got their ass handed to them. Probably the only people really taking it really well are the sharps this week, or the last couple weeks anyway.
Well, give me Green Bay at home. I like Green Bay.
All right. What do you like on the fantasy pick there?
Give me Jordan Love. He's got to have a bounce back game this week. If Green Bay's going to turn their season around, it's got to start this week with Jordan Love.
His completions percentage is so bad.
It's not good. It's not good.
And that's one thing that I've been a big stickler on the entire time I've ever watched the NFL is completion percentage. And yes, he's had some drops by receivers, by all means, yes. So that's hurt his completion percentage to a certain degree. But when you're completing less than half of your percentage of passes, right now I think he's at like a 51% clip.
Yeah, it's 50,
it's
52.
Oh, 51, 52. I mean, that's a bad clip for your starting quarterback in the NFL, especially this day and age where they're giving you layups and passes.
Well, maybe they need to adjust the game plan a little bit.
Maybe so. I don't know. But it's either the floor's got to go, Love's got to go, or all the above. Because right now it doesn't look pretty in Green Bay.
Love is going off at 5,500 right now. So, I mean, if you're looking for a cheap quarterback for a bounce back week against the Rams defense, they can be suspect.
Yeah.
Give me Jordan.
All right. Okay, so next up we got the Buccaneers and the Texans. And that's in Houston. Houston needs a bounce-back game after giving Bryce Young his first victory of the season. I have FanDuel has 3-point favorite for Houston down there in Houston. What do you like on that one, Bobby?
I've got it at 2.5, but I like Tampa to they're getting the 2.5 points. So give me Tampa plus 2.5. Give me Tampa to win down in Houston. Houston's still got some growing up to do, obviously, by last week's game in Carolina proved that. And I like the under as well.
Okay. So for me, I'm going with the Texans. I'm right with the Texans. Obviously, them hitting the money line. You like the under on that one, so we're in complete opposite on that game. I like the over at 40 points. I like the over at 40 points. Some point between that game, you got a couple of quarterbacks there that can easily get a defensive touchdown in place, fumble, interception, special teams touchdown. saw last week in one of my games that I had going. I said that the Cowboys Rams game.
The Cowboys
that was one like a couple of defensive touchdowns, special teams touchdowns, safety on the punt.
They went that over.
Yeah, that over under. That's the quickest way for your over under to get burned real fast. Defensive, offensive touchdowns. Those are two teams that be primed to give up that type of goods. At 40 points, I kind of like that as the over.
Okay.
Who do you like on fantasy there, Bobby?
I like that disagreement right there. We're gonna keep track of that.
All right.
Nico Collins in this game. Give me Nico Collins. He's got to bounce back. And actually, Tampa Bay is 24th as far as giving up fantasy points to wide receivers. So they're not good against wide receivers. Give me Nico Collins.
Okay, I like that. All right, so I mean, Nico's been he's been a solid pro this whole season there. Solid pro this whole season. All right, so next up we got the Patriots and the Commanders. Patriots and the Commanders in New England. New England coming off a big victory.
They are, but they lost their number one wide receiver.
Yes, they did.
That hurts.
Yes,
Bourne was having a solid season for them. That one really hurts.
But this is the time, actually, but the Commanders actually traded off a bunch of pieces on the defensive line.
They did.
Right now. And so for this is the time usually when Bill Belichick kind of gets his teams rolling. If there's a chance that the Patriots have any chance of being anything decent, it's going to be right now that he starts to make his move. Because he knows what his team is like in Thanksgiving.
I think I know where you're going with this.
So you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. I'm going with the Patriots covering at 3.5. Hey, Patriots covering at 3.5. Obviously, hitting the money line. And I like the over at 40.5.
All right,
I like the over at 40.5.
2 in a row, baby. I like everything else. Give me Washington. They showed me that they can put up some points. New England, I mean, their defense is still suspect. I think Washington can go in and win this game.
So you think Sam Howell can outdo Bill Belichick's defense?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, it's not Sam Howell so much as Bieniemy.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, I mean, I know, but right now, Ron Rivera, there's certain things. Right now, the commander leading that ship is not giving me a lot of confidence for the Commanders. Because did you hear the comment that he made when they talked about a review on one of the plays that they had? There was a review on a play that they had out there on the field. I can't remember what play it was. And he said he goes, I didn't realize he was out on the field.
Oh, like the player?
Yeah, the player was out on the field. Like, it just, I feel like, Ron Rivera, he went through some issues as far as from the cancer treatment, stuff like that.
Maybe he's losing it.
Yeah, I think that fastball is gone, man. I think it's all knuckleball right now. It's all knuckleball.
Give me the Commanders.
All right. Who do you like in the fantasy aspect of that one?
I like Logan Thomas in this one. Actually, he has had a dominant season so far. He's top 10 tight end this year, and I know that's not saying much as far in the world of tight ends go, but he's had a nice bounce back season.
Former quarterback out of Virginia Tech. Former quarterback converted tight end.
He's going off at $3,500 this week. Really, I mean, it's towards the lower end.
I do like that play.
Like Logan Thomas, he's scored 2 out of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good solid play. That's a good solid play with Logan Thomas. I do like that. He's always one of those guys that, especially he's very quarterback friendly. For young quarterbacks, too, as well. Quarterbacks that might be a little bit limited as far as where they can hit the outside and stretch the receivers. So, yeah, I like that a lot. All right, so next up we got the Bears and Saints. Ooh. Bears and Saints. Ooh, that's an ugly one.
Yeah, I know. I like the Saints all day in this one.
The only one you would want. So it's gone up to 8.5 now on DraftKings?
Oh, it's 8.5?
I had 7.5.
I've got 8, but I still like the Saints to cover this one at home. 8, 8.5, doesn't matter. Saints win at home, cover, and I like the over.
All right, see, I'm on the opposite end on this one here.
Right.
On the opposite. So this is going to be somebody's going to have a good week, somebody's going to have a bad week. So last week it was you, this week is me. Hopefully it's me. So this week I got the 7.5 for the Bears, like it's what I had.
Okay.
I like the Bears to cover that 7.5 just because I feel like there's going to be kind of some tricky action that goes in there. The Saints don't give me a lot of confidence that they can stay consistent. It is in New Orleans. I do like the Saints to win that game, but I also like the under at 41. Yeah, I like the under at 41 on that one.
Okay. In this one, give me Rashid Shaheed. He's really heating up lately.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if they can throw the deep ball like that, that's Michael Thomas all over again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we haven't even seen any Michael Thomas really a lot yet.
He could heat up too, but Rashid Shaheed is going off at $4,500 this week. So for your daily event, that's a good value for wide receiver.
Yes. He's been one of your favorites right there, and he's come through. He's come through several times already. All right, so next up we got the Vikings and Falcons down there in the ATL. Vikings and Falcons down there in the ATL.
All right,
I got them through FanDuel at 4.5 of the
Vikings
being Falcons being favorites, home favorites. You like that? So who do you like in that one, Bobby?
I actually think Minnesota covers in this one. at 4.5. I think they cover this one. I think Atlanta wins. It's going to be one of those ridiculously boring games. It's going to be like 15-12.
So do you think Josh Dobbs gets in this week?
No.
I think they're going to send him one more week. Yeah,
I really don't. Like, Hall would have to be so atrocious that it's like 5 fumbles or something like that, or he just can't get a snap off. I don't.
Here is my mystery with the Falcons, and I'll tell you where I'm going to go opposite of you.
Yeah.
Because I don't see if shit hits the fan and Desmond Ridder is not producing.
Taylor Heineke
is going to make his way into the game. I think
he's starting.
He is starting
this game.
Yeah, that even solidifies what I'm saying. Falcons 4.5. You know what? I like Falcons 4.5. Give me that all day money line. Right. I'll take the over at 37.
Okay,
book it. I'm done. Taylor Heineke is starting. Thank you, Artie Smith, for making the right decision. Don't hold your team back anymore. Desmond Ridder. Love you for college quarterback you were at the University of Cincinnati, but we are not. This is the men's league right now, and I don't have any confidence in Desmond Ridder at all. So Taylor Heineke, I like the Falcons, everything about them this week.
I like Minnesota to rally around and just to cover this week. I do like Atlanta to win, but give me the under. I think this game's ugly. But London could actually have a decent game this week. That's my fantasy player in this game.
I hope so, because he's been on my fantasy team, and I've been getting next to nothing all year because of Desmond Ridder. That's why I'm watching so close.
5,500, and Minnesota's only 27th against the pass.
I'd almost like, so if you like a little sneaky parlay action there, I like a little 2-touchdown action for Drake London on that one.
A little 2-touchdown.
Yeah, a little 2-touchdown action for Drake London on that action, just in case. Just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. All right, so on that aspect, next up we're going to the Browns and the Cardinals down there in Cleveland. Up there in Cleveland, we got the Browns and Cardinals. Cardinals with the who-knows-who quarterback in this week.
Tuna? Is that his name?
Tuna, Toa, I don't know, man. I mean, like, who gives a shit, honestly? He's just a placeholder until Kyler Murray gets back, honestly.
I think his name really is Tuna.
It might be. I don't know. Josh Dobbs was playing,
right,
waiting for Kyler Murray to come back. I didn't give a shit about the backup at that point.
Kyler Murray could play this week, but I think they'll hold him out.
I think they're going to hold him out at least one more week. I mean, there's no reason to get him in there too fast, too soon. If anything else, just kind of see how things ride out, see how it goes the next couple weeks.
They're aiming for that number 1 pick. Sure.
Yeah, and if they get the number 1 overall pick, I mean, they're probably a Marvin Harrison Jr. Harrison Jr. because it looks like they're going to hitch their wagon to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's going to probably be who
they paid him. Why not?
They paid him. If they like what they see the rest of the year, depending on what goes on. But for me, I like in this game, I like the Cardinals to cover that.
Okay.
Again, that goes back to my whole philosophy, the unknown quarterback.
Right.
When you don't know who's playing at quarterback, sometimes it's hard to game plan against those guys.
Yeah.
And so you don't know what you're trying to stop, what you're trying to commit to in that aspect from a defensive standpoint. And every now and then you get that wild card game. That's why those guys usually shit the bed on their second game because you got a full game of tape on them the second time around. Mm-hmm. So for me, I like the Cardinals to cover that, but I still like the Browns to hit it. Yeah, I still like the Browns to win it. I still like the Browns to cover the money line, and I like the over on that at 37.5.
All right, give me the under in that one.
You like the under on that one? Oh, that's such a low point score.
37.5.
You know what it is. You know my rule: one defensive touchdown, one special defensive touchdown.
It only takes one. But I don't have faith in Tommy Tuna this week.
Yeah.
So.
Is James back or is he still out?
I think he's one more week.
One more week? I think he's still out?
Week.
Okay.
Give me Jerome Ford in this one.
Like Jerome Ford?
Yep,
okay.
I like Jerome Ford. He's 5,300, and Arizona is 30th against the run.
Yeah, that's been their Achilles heel the whole time. That's why Dallas couldn't compete with them because at that time their running game was irrelevant at that point in the game. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good call. Good call. So next up, we got the Ravens and the Seahawks. This should be a great game.
This should be a
great game. It's up in Baltimore, and the Ravens have been playing well. I mean, they've been playing really, really well. Gino's been turning the ball over a lot. They got a lot in that game. So
Seattle had one gifted to him last week.
Yes, they did. They absolutely did. So I had 5.5 through FanDuel.
I had 6.
You got 6 through DraftKings?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for me, I like the Ravens to cover this at 5.5. I like the match, obviously, money line because they're at home. And I like the under on this one at 42.5.
All right. Well, I have the over-under at 43, but I like Seattle to cover, Baltimore to win, and give me the over in this one.
Okay. All right, nice. All right, so who do you like in the fantasy aspect of that one?
Give me Smith and Jigba again. I mean, he scored 2 straight weeks. This kid's really going to be something when they actually turn him loose.
Oh, yeah.
But he's still only going off at 4,300.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a good bargain buy for a while until the NFL really catches on and all the books catch on to, hey, this kid is actually doing something consistently. So another week in a row. So this will be the week to definitely get his last bargain buy to Jackson Smith.
This will probably be the last one, especially if he scores another touchdown.
Yes, exactly. Or gets a 100-yard game, one of the two. So, yeah, but I like that pick as well. Next up, we got the Colts and Panthers. That's down in Carolina. Who do you like on that one, Bobby?
All right. Well, I like Indianapolis to go down into Carolina. I know Carolina just coming off a win, but maybe their heads get too big. They're still not a very good team. They beat Houston. It's not like they were a world beater.
Yeah, there was nothing to write home about on that.
I know Indianapolis defense isn't that great, but they prove they can score.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think they can score on Carolina to cover that 2.5.
I think they're the only team to put up 20 points over every game. They just haven't been able to stop anybody.
They just can't stop anybody. They go down and win, and I actually like the under in this one.
Okay, so we're in agreement on that one. So you had Indianapolis winning and covering?
Yep.
All right, so we're in agreement on that one, except for I like the over on this one. I like the over just because of the fact that Indianapolis defense has been pretty kind of piss poor.
Yeah, they have.
Offense has been putting up numbers too as well. So with that combination, I kind of went over on the 44.5. That was the logic. I went on that one. We're kind of at that midway point, so we're still kind of finding out, seeing who is who, what is what. So, I mean, that's kind of in that aspect where we're leaning to on that one. All right, next up, this is probably the game of the afternoon. We got the Eagles and Cowboys up in Link Financial. With all the Johns up there in Philly.
Dallas is my team. Everybody knows that. Dallas is our team. Yeah. It's our team. But I like Philly in this game to win at home.
This is where I put my gambling record. I mean, my fandom aside, and I'm with you on that one too. I like Philly to cover the 3 points. Yep. I like them obviously to win at home. I like the over on this one at 46.
Okay. We're actually agreement all the way across the board.
Yeah, and you know what? As a Cowboy fan, hopefully we're wrong.
Yeah,
from my gambling record,
hope I am wrong.
From my gambling record, I hope I'm right.
But I just don't trust Dak Prescott to win a game for us.
Yeah, he has to show me a little bit more. I'm having very little confidence in him, but we'll see what happens because, I mean, he's looked good the last couple of weeks. As long as they can play ahead, not from behind.
Right. And give me that average tight end this week, Jake Ferguson, as well. Another touchdown again last week.
Found the end zone last week. He found the end zone.
And as long as Dallas can keep doing that, incorporate that tight end in their offense, I mean, I think they'll be fine. And if it happens again this week, let's go Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I'm a little bit nervous of, let's see how Kevin Byard from the Titans kind of implements himself into their defense because that's going to be that's a big addition to that defense. Big addition to that defense. So who do you like fantasy? Why you say you like Jake Ferguson there again?
Jake Ferguson.
All right. Okay. So again, hopefully our fandom trumps what our gambling bets were on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Philly actually gets it done at home. And when they go back to Dallas, I think Dallas gets it done there.
Right, and hopefully Philly gets another loss in the process. But we'll see and go from there. Let's not put the cart before the horse. All right, so next up we got the Raiders and the Giants. Oh, fucking Jimmy G.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye, Josh McDaniels. Goodbye, General Manager. Goodbye, Jimmy G. Adam O'Connell is actually starting at quarterback this week. They're about to blow this thing up once again. They're about to blow this thing up. Yeah. And damn it, I had the reason why Smoking Token isn't smoking right now, and I'm just token, is because I needed Devontae Adams for one touchdown, man. One touchdown, and I had a $1,200 parlay to hit off a $1,500 bet, or actually it was $2,100 off a $150 bet. But again, here nor there, everything's blown up. It's gone. That was last week. We move on. That's last week. We move along. All right, for me, this one here it's in Vegas. And the Giants, who do you like in that, Bobby?
I actually like the Giants to go into Vegas just because Vegas is a hot mess right now. Daniel Jones comes back this week. I know that still doesn't mean much for the Giants, but look, they could throw the ball a little bit better than they did with DeVito last week because he was, 2 for 7
well, DeVito was never supposed to see the field. DeVito was supposed to be a part of the Tony Soprano saga.
But I do like the Giants to go into Las Vegas and win this one, cover that, or get the 1.5, obviously. But I like the under at 37.
Okay, so you had 1.5. I had 2.5 early, so I saw it drop down to 1.5. For me, here's why I like the Raiders, and the only reason why. I will stay away from, and I will not personally gamble on any Raiders game for the rest of the season because I've had 3 games that I thought were boom locked in that aspect, and the Raiders are Jekyll and Hyde on that aspect. But from this game here, I feel strong about the Raiders to actually cover that 1.5, hit the money line, and actually hit the over at 37.5. And here's the reason why: when teams fire a coach during the course of a season, everybody's on high alert in that building because everybody knows nobody's job is safe. Outside of Devontae Adams, outside of Max Crosby, nobody's job is safe in that building. Everything is hands off on that, hands on that point. They're like, hey, you better get your shit together, otherwise you're gonna be finding a new place to live. And you know, and that, in my opinion, in that aspect, so I think there's going to be a little bit of desperation action. Antonio Pierce, former player for the New York Giants, is going to be coaching on the sidelines there. So I like that for the Giants to cover that. I mean, I like the Raiders to cover that game, win, and I like the over on that aspect.
All right.
Who do you like in fantasy?
Give me Jalen Hyatt. This is a long shot. I mean, he only gets a couple of targets a game. But when they hit, like, they're deep threats.
They do. The one thing you got to keep in mind on with that one is the Raiders got a sneaky good pass defense.
They do.
They have a sneaky good pass defense.
After looking at all the fantasy options in this game, I was like, give me the long shot. He's only going off at 3,000.
Yeah, for a bargain buy, absolutely. Because Saquon's probably way up there from a dollar amount.
Absolute bargain buy. Yeah, Saquon was the second running back.
Yeah, I was going to say he had to be way up there because the Raiders are good at stopping the pass, and the run, they get ran all over.
This is a dumpster buy. This is one of those ones where you want to spend all your money on top end guys.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so next up, we're getting close to the end of the slate here. So we got the Sunday night game here.
Yep.
Sunday night, we got the Bills and Bengals. That should be a barn burner right there.
Should be a good one.
That should be a barn burner. I can't wait to look to see what juice is going to be. A couple of prop bets and all that for that game there, because that should be a fun one. That should be a fun one to watch that night. I have 2.5. Did it drop to 1.5? All right,
I got 2 at DraftKings.
You got 2 at DraftKings. So I got 2.5 earlier today. It looks like it went down to 1.5. It's in Cincinnati. Cincinnati has kind of seemed to be more of that team that's playing a little bit better football at this stage right now. I saw the Bills actually picked up Leonard Fournette off the streets this week.
They did.
But he's not going to be ready to play. That dude's already, even when he's in shape, he's like 270 pounds. So it's going to probably take him like 2 weeks to get down to 255 or so. So for me, I'm still going to ride with the Bengals. Money line, and I like the under on that one at 48.5. 48.5.
Yep, I like
It's at 49.5 is what we got. Producer Dave showed me
49.5 right now.
Yeah, we got 49.5. I like the still to hit the under on that.
Yeah,
one.
I like the under in that one.
Yeah, I still like the under on that one.
We agree about that one.
Yep. That's one of the few, one of the 3 I think we've agreed on this week.
I hope we have a T. Higgins sighting this week.
All right,
because that would be nice. I know, like Chase is just getting all
targets. He's been eating.
Nobody can stop him.
Nah.
But maybe T. Higgins gets in there. He's a middle of the road price, 6,100. But give me T. Higgins in this game.
Yeah, T. Higgins, he's always a good pick, especially like that. Like if you ever watch the Bengals trends, like every 3rd to 4th game, T. Higgins is going to be the pop his head out there.
And
especially
it's been a while since we saw him.
And he wasn't completely healthy for a while there, so maybe be a little bit healthier this week going into that. So that's a good solid pick there. All right, so we got the last game on the slate here: Chargers and Jets. Chargers and Jets. Jets, they're bouncing back, baby. They're bouncing back.
Alive, baby.
They are bouncing back. Maybe Aaron Rodgers comes back. He did a couple pregame warm-up, drop back and passing. You know, hey.
What, so he could blow the other one out?
Hey, he's 40 years old. If he does it, he does it. He gives a shit at this point. I mean, it's like, let's ride. Let's go, baby.
I guess.
Let's ride. Let's go.
You think he really has a chance to come back?
Hey, man, he's already dropping back, throwing passes already this fast. Right. And we're just now in the first day of November.
That's true.
Think about 7 weeks from now, 8 weeks from now,
8 weeks.
8 weeks from now, where he might be. If they're looming and lingering into the playoffs, Zach Wilson's going to hand that baton off real quick in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he could do the Dan Marino.
Hell yeah, man! He just get his way through it. I mean, because he's got the arm talent. It's not like he asking him to play running back.
He could do the Dan Marino.
Oh, absolutely. Especially he's getting the outside perspective of what to watch, who's the weak one offensive line, but where to slide protections to. So he's gathering a lot of intel on that aspect. So I think we're probably both feeling the same way on this game because I have no faith in these Chargers.
No.
Brandon Staley, and they're going to MetLife Stadium. Yeah. They're going to MetLife Stadium in this one here.
On a Monday night.
Long travel, Monday night game. West Coast travel, West Coast to the East Coast. So for me, I had 3 points is what I had in that game. I think both books from FanDuel and DraftKings, so 3 points. I like the Jets to win, cover the 3 points. Over under was 41.5. I like the under on that one.
Yep. We are in
total agreement on that one. Total agreement. I think we're in complete agreement on that one. Brandon Staley's going to show me something different. I know Director Dave had 40.5 that FanDuel was giving up right now. But either way, I'm still going to take that. I'm still taking it under. I'm still taking it under. I like that under either way. So what do you like is from a fantasy standpoint that week, Bobby?
Give me the running back off the Chargers, Kelly, 4,700. Eckler's way too expensive. I mean, if you take him, you better get Old Jalen Hyatt up there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, give me Kelly. He can snatch a touchdown in this one, I think.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, Joshua Kelly.
Yeah, Joshua Kelly.
Joshua Kelly. Okay.
He's the bigger back of the two.
Yeah, he's the bigger back.
If you get down on the goal line, I think he can smash one.
He might hammer one in.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that covers this week's slate. The last thing I got for you guys out here, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you put your comments underneath in the comment section here. We got, if you haven't seen or noticed our new merch that we got here, we got some new merch out there for you people. Like and subscribe, do some comments, show us if we can send you some merch. We can work on maybe send you some bets and bubs paraphernalia here. We're the bets, Buzz helping you cast those bets out here. But I'm going to give you this Smoking Token primetime parlay for Thursday. Smoking Token primetime parlay. I feel strong about this one. I typically don't like doing it Thursday nights after this many weeks because I kind of get burned after a certain point. But I like Derrick Henry anytime touchdown scorer. I like Kenny Pickett under 213.5 because right now the book still has Kenny Pickett as 213.5. Again, Uncle Mo, please allow us to make these bets right away instead of driving all the way over to the ill side. Because if I had got a chance to make that bet right now, I'd put Kenny Pickett under 213.5 points. It's pretty much a gimme. And then I have Jaylen Warren over 25.5 yards rushing. He just got a couple bullshit. Fine, stupid stuff that's happened last week. I like that right there. It's a total of plus 805 to pay out there for Jason Token prime time smoking parlay. Let's get this baby going here. We've enjoyed this week and this ride with you this whole season, everybody. Bobby Light, it's been a ride, brother.
Hell yeah,
it's been a ride, baby.
Peace.
It's been a ride. You got me the last couple weeks. Let's get that party going.
You still got me.
Love you, people. Love you. Peace.